Thank you very much, and thank you, Ryan. The First Lady of North Dakota is Kathryn Burgum. She's been an inspiration to many people who have heard her story, and today she'd like to talk to us about destigmatization and something the President has talked about, breaking through the silence and the stigma. Kathryn?
Thanks, Kellyanne. I am so grateful to the administration for bringing together these stakeholders and decision makers for this important conversation about ending the opioid crisis. I've been in long-term recovery for 16 years. Thank you. And I know from personal experience how stigma prevents people from reaching out for help and talking about the disease of addiction. I did not seek real help for almost 20 years because I was ashamed. Stigma puts up walls. It is socially constructed, based in fear, and usually contains inaccurate information. If we can begin to normalize the conversation around the chronic brain disease of addiction and talk about it like we talk about other chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease, we can end the stigma. We can change cultures from misinterpretation to empathy, cultures in our communities. It's so great the administration has created this website for people to share their addiction and recovery stories, because that's going to go a long way to breaking down the barrier of stigma. In North Dakota, we've launched a multi-year multimedia communications campaign designed to inform about the disease of addiction and eliminate stigma. We call the campaign our Dream Again campaign. So my question is, has the administration considered a communications campaign that promotes understanding and empathy towards those struggling with the disease of addiction? And just know I stand ready to help this administration in any way I can to eliminate the opioid crisis and the stigma of addiction. Thank you.
So we do anticipate launching a mass and multimedia campaign, not just to educate people about the dangers of addiction, the fact that it can come to anybody, to any family. And as part of that, I do think the destigmatization of substance use disorder is critical. We have to get people willing to seek out treatment. It's one of the reasons part of our program is to support drug courts also, to just allow diversion for people so that it's not about just going, just facing criminal consequences, but can we get people into appropriate substance use treatment programs, which is the help that they often really need. And so our multimedia campaign, I'm glad to get this feedback from you about destigmatization so that as Kellyanne and I and others work on this, we can ensure that those messages are part of the campaign also. Thank you.
The education is absolutely critical, and it's one of the components of the Envision centers that will be populating places throughout the country. Comes from a Bible verse that says, without a vision the people perish, but we call them Envision centers because we don't want people to think they were going to get glasses. But but there's a strong educational component. And prevention is a key portion of that educational component also. So coupling with many of the nonprofits and philanthropic organizations that are already in our various communities, bringing them together with the need, putting them in juxtaposition, I think will have a very good impact.
Thank you. Gary Tennis.